We are connecting, ladies and gents. Okay, so everyone, welcome. Hi. So everyone in the Zoom chat, you guys should be very, very happy. We currently have the old setup because of some technical difficulties, but we're still working on fixing it. So it'll be crispy and sharp for you so you can see everything and all of the information, and it would look amazing. So I'm connecting today from the Spanish office. I'm here in Madrid. So this is like a different setup because I am in Madrid, and it is a wonderful, great people, great community. Love the place. Lachlan is joining us today to do another live trading room with Samurai Day Trading. So it's very interesting to see what's going on. Lachlan did text me earlier saying that the markets are already very interesting. So sounds like you guys are going to have another good session. So I'm happy to hear that. I will wish you a good session, and I will join towards the end to say hello again and maybe answer a few questions. That's it from my side for now. There you go.
Thank you, Alan. Great job. Thank you, TTP. So hi, everybody. Hope you are amazing wherever you are in the world. So as we say, guys and girls, let me grab the chat. Wherever you are, guys, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope you are fantastic. Now, we are waking up, guys. Yeah, we are waking up to some very, very nasty geopolitical news, guys, going on around the world. So again, for those of you who are just getting out of bed, some pretty gnarly stuff going on, pretty gnarly stuff. Suffice to say, we are going to focus, as we will focus very, very heavily on what we do, very heavily on what we do. Now, you should be able to see some black slides. I was just confirming you can see those, which I do believe you can. All my softwares are telling me you can, which is always good. So we are good to rock and roll. So guys and girls, welcome. My name is Lachie. I'm going to be taking you for the session today. As I was saying, there are some pretty crazy geopolitical things going on globally, guys. So today we're going to have to be relatively careful, there is high impact news, but it's not too significantly later today. Both of our US markets at the moment are in absolutely beautiful longs. So I wouldn't be surprised at all, guys, if we keep climbing to the high side. Our little FDAX here, guys, is climbing out of the doldrums again. So I would suggest if we get a really, really nice little early sell down in the market, guys, it turns around and goes back the other way. It should actually be very, very good fun. So guys, a couple of things. Why do we run a live trading room? Ultimately, we run a live trading room for 4 key points. So as we want immediate proof of performance, I'll tell you why we're going to do this in a second. As we want to build confidence in the strategy and what we're doing. Basically, with live charts, there's absolutely nowhere to hide. So there's no forecasting or speculation. Guys and girls, it is either a really good trade or it's not, and we'll take advantage of it. Guys, and also AMA, guys, ask me anything. That's a format we used in the military for many, many years, guys, and it works very, very well. Now, a question, guys, I missed last week. We were using the new technology last week, and we were focused on getting that up and firing properly. As the question was, guys, how do I get into the US close live trading room? So right at the end of the webinar, guys, somebody jumped in and said, how do we do that? Guys, if you want to get into the US close live trading room, guys, all you need to do is get in contact with Samurai, guys, and all you would need to do is subscribe to the trading rooms, guys. You'll be able to get in there and ready to rock and roll. All right, during the week, I was doing some coaching. On to a number of traders who are getting ready for the Platinum program, guys, and they were asking me, exactly right, Steve, exactly right. As they were asking me a couple of really, really awesome questions, guys, about the foundation for success in trading. So again, I'm being asked the question, Lachie, how do I become really, really successful in the game of trading? Now, guys and girls, not to be rude, trading is very much a game of discipline and ultimately patience. But I was thinking about that, guys, on literally yesterday and the day before when I was coaching, and I thought it'd be really, really smart to share with you guys what I believe are the foundations of success in trading. So first and foremost, guys, if you want to build a really, really solid foundation, guys, you need a strategy that actually works. Now, I know that might sound a bit of a no-brainer, guys, but yes, you need a strategy that actually works. Guys, what we then need to do, though, is with the foundation is not explore and design and similar things. The foundation is find a strategy that works, guys, and then ultimately build knowledge about how to use that strategy, because the knowledge in using the strategy is going to result in discipline. Now, if you can bear with me on this one, as the foundation to success in trading, there's basically three keys. You've got to get a strategy that works. You've got to build knowledge about that strategy and why it works. And then ultimately you get to the point where you can be very, very disciplined about your trading, guys, because ultimately at the end of the day, if you're making money and you're starting to move forward, guys, you don't need to go and explore other trading strategies or other this or other opinions and so on. So guys, we end up in this incredible little cycle where it just keeps repeating, right? So you get a great little strategy. You build knowledge around the strategy, which is what we're going to be doing in the trading room today. You become disciplined in the use of the strategy because you realize you don't need a second strategy. That builds more confidence in the strategy, and you literally end up in what I would call the trading success cycle, guys, which this thing just keeps repeating over and over and over again. Because one of the messages that will basically come out of today is if you're really, really good at trading the 5-minute chart, which we're going to focus on today, guys, ultimately, what does that mean? You don't need any other strategies. You don't need any other knowledge. You don't need any other discipline or expertise. You just get on with the job of being very, very good on the 5-minute chart. Ash, discipline is enormous. Discipline is enormous, and it's a really good point you raise, Ash, because at the end of the day, if people don't understand the strategy intimately and they don't build knowledge about why the strategy works, they can't expect to be disciplined because they've got no confidence in what they're ultimately doing. So once we become confident in what we're doing, guys, that breeds the discipline. Then we go back to the strategy, we build further knowledge, and we just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Now, guys, I've been doing this exact process here since around about 2009. Lorna, how are you? I hope you're fantastic. Because I was asked the question, Lockie, what does it take to be a really good trader? And I said, discipline and patience. They said, well, how do you become disciplined and patient? And then I thought, well, hang on, what? I'm going to write a slide on exactly how to do that. I said, that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, guys, back to our compliance slides, because we are trading futures and CFDs today, guys, I've got to mention there are two risks in trading. There's a risk of making money and also losing money. Guys, because we are trading futures and CFDs, they are involving margin. What does that mean? We borrow money, a little bit of money every time we take a trade. So the risk on both sides of the equation is increased. Guys, everything we're going to do is general information only today. Past performance of all financial products in most jurisdictions globally, guys, can no longer be used as an indication of future performance. And we've got this incredible thing, guys, called the internet. Because we're going to be trading over the internet today, we do need to deal with market risk factors. What I will do is I'll do my best to guide you in and out of the market as best as I possibly can. Guys, that said, there's no guarantee you'll be able to get in where I suggest to get in or get out where I suggest to get out. Now, these markets, guys, these markets are buying beautifully, right? They are buying beautifully. Now, very, very brief, guys, very, very brief history on me. I basically discovered futures trading in 2007, started running my own trading school in 2009 in Australia, because basically there were no decent trading schools available in Australia. I designed my own course, my own indicators, my own strategy. I got a lot of help along the way from a lot of very, very talented traders. And here we are today. So if you're on Instagram, there's our Instagram. If you're on YouTube, absolutely brilliant. Join us on YouTube. We've had more than 9,000, so more than 9,000 views on YouTube in the last 7 days. So there's a number of people out there in the world that there's either one guy watching 9,000 videos, or we're starting to gather a bit of traction. If you need anything from us, info@samuraidaytrading.com. And for those that may or may not be aware, so hey, Jürgen, hey, Diane, how are you? Ash, again. Mario, greetings from Austria. How are you? Guys, Samurai Day Trading turns 1 year old, 1 year old at the end of this month. I cannot believe we're almost 1 year old, but that's okay, guys. That's okay. We're bopping along. And guys, once again, if you would like to attend the advanced course, thank you, Petros. If you'd like to attend the advanced course, guys, you can apply up to the 30th of October for that. Guys, it starts on the 2nd of November. Just reiterate, guys, that's an online advanced course over 5 days, right? So it's going to keep you, that's going to keep you out of trouble. Is that Jose? Have I done that correctly? First time. Hello. Now, correct me, Jose. Have I got that correct? I'm very good with Australian names. that can sometimes not be very good. So guys, what we're going to do today, we're going to let the market do the heavy lifting. We do that every time, guys. We haven't basically changed what we do since 2009. And guys and girls, may I suggest it doesn't need to change. Now, we're going to focus over there on the left-hand side. We're going to focus on CSA, which stands for candlestick analysis. Guys, we are going to use the delta. That is an indicator that shows us when to enter the market, guys. We'll be using that today. Guys, we're going to focus primarily on ratios for those that love pure price movement trading. Rolf, how are you from Austria? I hope you are fantastic. Guys, and I'm also going to use, guys, I'm going to use two trading styles today, dynamic trading and also static trading. Guys, static trading is definitely for the beginner traders, so I'll identify the difference between those as we move. Guys, and ultimately ABC and stair step are fundamentally important. Now, when we log in, guys, the screens are going to be aligned like that. Now, for those that are brand new into this session, guys, the S&P 500 is our reference chart for the NASDAQ. The FESX is a reference chart for the FDAX, guys, as well as the American markets. There's a lot of weight, guys, a lot of weight put on that bottom right-hand chart for the direction that Europe would like to go, okay? So, guys, if you are brand new to what we do, the opening of Europe does tend to move very quickly. Right? So if you are brand new to what we do, I'll guide you as best as I possibly can, understanding that I will also be catering for people in the trading session, guys, that have done significant amounts of trading, guys, and we are all here, dare I say it, ladies and gents, we are all here to make as much money as we possibly can. Klaus, how are you? I hope you are amazing. I hope you are amazing. So, guys, first and foremost, our number one motivation for trading today is making money. Guys, Nathan, how are you? Hope you're fantastic. Guys, so let's have a look at what the markets are doing. The S&P 500, guys, again, a lot of geopolitical stuff going on in the US, guys. So we're going to be very, very careful with the S&P 500 today. What I would suggest for everybody, your high impact US news is at 9:30 p.m. tonight. Guys, at 9:30 p.m. tonight. Ash, yes, 100%. No, Ash, we've gone back to the old technology. We've gone back to the old tech. Now, what, again, we're doing some fine tuning on the new tech. We're doing some fine tuning. Oh, guys, now let me get rid of that camera. Let me get rid of that camera only because I want to focus 100% on the charts. I so focus 100% on the charts. We can do cameras later if we need to. What's just happened there? Hold on one second. That one. Okay, no. Okay, perfect. We're good. So one thing I do want to highlight, guys and girls, if we can, is that the US market, S&P 500 yesterday is actually cruising through. Let me double check that's the case. Looks like we're cruising through to absolute record highs. 100% we are. Now, guys, on the weekly chart, the buyers look very, very strong. Guys, on the daily chart, they look to be slowly but surely running out of steam. Right, slowly but surely running out of steam. What does that ultimately mean? We drop down to the 4-hour chart, guys, and this is what I mean by running out of steam. Right, so what I want you to do is on the S&P 500 for today, I'm going to be drawing a Fibonacci from the top to the bottom. I draw a Fibonacci from the top to the bottom. What we want to focus on primarily is where these buyers are currently failing. Okay, for those that are new to what we do, guys, we've got quite a few new traders in the session today. What we've got to be very, very careful of is we always draw our Fibonacci down to catch them on the way back up, guys. And the Fibonacci spine or the line of the spine should always be from left to right. Typically, if it's the other way around, guys, you might actually have your Fibonacci up the wrong way. Really important point, guys and girls, because Fibonacci up the wrong way, Fibonacci is not palindromic. Okay, so palindromic, just so everybody knows, the number 808 is palindromic. Okay, it reads backwards and forwards exactly the same. Fibonacci is different, guys, very, very different. So we just got to make sure we've got our Fibonacci's up the right way. Now, at this point in time, as the buyers are cruising through here on the S&P 500, they are getting to a very, very key retracement level. Guys, if you know the golden ratio, 61.8 is the golden ratio. Now, something to be very, very aware of is on the 4-hour chart. Guys, on the 4-hour chart, this one here, guys, this -2 rated candle for the S&P 500 traders, that is a 4-hour reversal long because the sellers own the stair step. It's a 4-hour reversal. Typically, a 4-hour reversal goes for 3 candles, 1, 2, 3. What does that mean, guys? If we go much higher on the S&P 500 at this point in time, they're likely to run out of steam, turn around and come back the other way. Okay, that's a 4-hour chart perspective. For a lot of the big sort of currency traders out there in the world, guys, they love the 4-hour chart. They would currently be seeing this as a failed buying campaign. Therefore, they might be looking for some sells. Okay, now, dropping down to the 60-minute chart, guys, you'll see that Fibonacci becomes even more important. What have we got here, guys, on the 4-hour chart? Let me just show you. Let me draw an arrow for you here. You've got a -8 rated static bar reversal long because the sellers own the stair step. Guys, that would typically go for 3 hours, which is 1, 2, 3. So we've got at least 2 more hours of buying to go. But the 4-hour chart is running out of steam, guys. So who's going to ultimately win that? Guys, dare I say it, the 4-hour chart is probably going to win that battle. I do see, guys, probably right here, right at the top of the screen. So it's really, really good. Our charts, guys, are very easy to see. Can everybody see that tiny little higher high just there behind that candle? Right, you've got a tiny little higher high, guys, on that candle at 551. Guys, what it ultimately means is if the buyers do push up on the S&P 500 to 551, guys, if they do push up there and fail, guys, that is actually F12. That is a 60-minute step break point. All right, so that's the point at which if they break that step and hold it, guys, we're going to look for really lovely longs. But if they get stuck, guys, if they get stuck, we might be looking for a really lovely reversal. The flip side of that, guys and girls, again, on the 60-minute chart, we're cruising back up to this 133 Fibonacci extension. So if the market was volatile, which it's not today, I would expect them to go up here to the 150. At this stage, if the S&P, or more importantly, if the Europeans try and fake out to the high side and then fail, guys, we're looking for some really, really lovely shorts. What I want you to do, guys, what I want you to do primarily, guys, is keep a very close eye on the Asian low. Okay. Here is my Asian low for today. I see here's my Asian low. There's my Asian high. Okay, so what we're going to do, keep a very close eye on the Asian high. As reason being is if these guys push up towards the Asian high on European Open and fail, guys, we're looking for really lovely shorts, please. Now, everybody knows how to enter the market. Whoops, oh, gee, what is going on here? A bit of a typo going on here. So Asian high. All right, let's put that there. Okay, so let's just watch, guys. Let's just watch what these guys have to do. Steve, I'll come to that comment in one tick. Across to the NASDAQ, guys, a couple of things that I've already marked up for you here. The previous pivot, guys, is a 4-hour static bar reversal long. Guys, if we were to retrace back down to this key level here, call it the 50 fib of the day, guys, we might be reloading a 60-minute long. Guys, I do want you to keep a very close eye on the Asian high and low today, particularly for the American traders. Now, at the moment, you guys are currently failing. You guys are currently failing at the Asian high. Right, so if we were to pick up a sell signal on European Open, guys, underneath the Asian high, then we could be trying to trade that. Oh, dearie me. Must be Saturday, right? Asian high. We would be trading that all the way back down to the Asian low for the experienced traders. G'day, Remy. How are you? Hope you guys, hope you're fantastic. Now, guys, on to Steve's comment there. NQ is going to gravitate around the weekly 90% retracement. 964. 964 is to the high side. Yes, I mean, I've got exactly the same level on. Mine is a slightly different color. So, guys, Steve is talking about the market cruising up here and gravitating. Okay, so we have a potential, we're going to call it gravitation point. I love that language, mate. Gravitation, that's correct. So gravitation point up the top here. I say again, if Europe was to buy, Europe looks pretty positive at this point in time. Andy, how are you? Hope you're fantastic. If the Europe decides to buy, guys, and we get dragged above the Asian high, so if we get a nice efficient candle, guys, on the NASDAQ, all right, in the first, call it 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so 10 to 15 minutes, guys, while they're setting the OSR in place. If we get a nice efficient candle on both American markets, guys, we're looking for a long, and we're going to try and trade that long all the way up to Steve's gravitation point. Okay. Yes. I'm reading Steve's comment. Everyone in the webinar can see that very clearly. Steve has a lot of experience, guys, in doing this. Yes. Perfect. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So let's keep an eye on that, guys. Let's keep an eye on that. One thing I would suggest for those people that are brand new to the session today, guys, obviously quite a few brand new people that are in the session. When we first get going, which is around about, say, 10 or so minutes from now, we won't know what direction Europe wants to run. Okay, so we don't know what direction Europe wants to run. So basically, we get Fibonacci's ready for both directions, and then we just start pulling them off as we need to. Damo, how are you, mate? I hope you're fantastic. Hope you're fantastic. Now, the FESX, guys and girls, if I can, this is where the big boys and girls play. So the FESX is the largest market in the world at this point in time, based on traded volume, guys, and value, guys, in the first 90 or so minutes. What I want to draw your attention to, guys, on the daily chart. So for those that are new, we don't use a daily chart. Please use a 1440-minute chart. It's a lot more accurate than a daily chart. Now, what we've got, guys, is a scenario on the 1440. A scenario on the 1440, okay, where basically they've bought the market up, they've sold it down, and this is going to give us a fascinating set of Fibonacci's to focus on. All right, now, that being said, well, because it's the daily chart, we'll use a blue Fibonacci. So yesterday, guys, what they've basically done is they've cruised up here, they hit the 150 fib extension, then they basically failed to hold above the 141.4, and then they basically collapsed, and it produced a really, really good series of trading for us yesterday. Guys, what it means is, because the sellers own the stair step on the daily chart, if these guys don't buy very convincingly, guys, if they don't buy very convincingly on the daily chart, then we're going to see them break yesterday's low. Guys, if we break yesterday's low, it's a week short, but they've also got a long way to fall, right? So there's a week short at yesterday's low on the FESX. Okay, so just remember that as we cruise in. Now, one of the dangers, guys, of trading the European Open, guys, particularly if you're on the NASDAQ or S&P 500, a lot of traders globally forget about what the 4-hour charts are doing. So, guys, at this point in time, my humble reading, I need to see what the 60s are doing. So these guys went up first before they went down. Now, what does that mean? They went up first before they went down. So that means at this stage, as this little green candle here, some people would argue as a 4-hour swing trigger long. Guys, now a swing trigger, don't forget mathematically, a swing trigger needs to be traded with the step and the trend. As at this point in time, the trend is down, the step is up. So we have a chart here that's basically in conflict. So I'm not going to treat that, guys. I'm not going to treat that little candle there as a 4-hour long. I'm going to treat it as a potential 4-hour short, right? So what does that mean? If we were to buy very, very early on Europe and then fail badly, we could end up with a really long range selling target, guys, very, very much like we got yesterday. Drop down to the 60-minute chart, guys. We've got multiple static bar reversals long. So effectively, if you're looking at the pre-market on Europe, which has gone up quite nicely, and you're trying to work out why that's occurred, sellers own the stair step on the 60-minute chart, and you've got 4 reversal candles down here, and basically the algos are responding to the 4 reversal candles. The problem that we've got for these reversal candles, guys, for these people that are trying to push the market up, guys, it's halfway through the trend indicator. Very, very key level of resistance. So if we get pushed back down a little bit, guys, we could get back down to today's low. If we do, we're going to free fall a little bit, okay, which could actually be really good fun. Couple of things, guys. S&P volume, let me just double check as we move in. S&P volume was 35,000, guys. Now it's 38,000. So the volume is actually climbing quite nicely. That, as we move into open, is an absolutely stunning reversal. Absolutely stunning reversal on the FESX. So we'll see what they do with that. For everybody that is brand new, please be advised that our high impact news announcements today, guys, the high impact European news is actually at 9:15 Tokyo time. So it's about 5 minutes to 4 in the afternoon here. So not for around about 5 hours. Guys, we've also got high impact US news, guys, at 9:30 p.m. Both of these, guys, occurring at the same time. If you're going to trade the US pre-market tonight, if you are in the virtual live trading room, guys, which runs with Samurai 22 hours a day, if you are in the virtual live trading room, be very careful about the 9:15 news and then the 9:30 news. As I said earlier, there's enough going on geopolitically already in the US, and we've got some very, very high impact news coming through, right? There's no doubt. If that news is positive, guys, I would suggest we're going to absolutely skyrocket on the S&P and NASDAQ tonight. Okay, now, for the FDAX traders, just hold on one sec. Okay. So what we've got, guys, is the FDAX has basically opened and done nothing but buy. Now, one thing I will suggest is that typically, guys, let me just shrink that for a moment. Okay, let me put that back down. The FESX will almost always go back to the 50 of the day, which is down here before they decide what they're doing. And they normally do that in the first 5 minutes, guys, of the market trading. Please note for the Europeans, guys, your gap has closed on both European markets. Guys, they typically do this to us on a TTP day. What does that mean? We're in for a very, very volatile start. Right? So please be very careful of the opening FDAX candle. Now, for those of you that like trading the FDAX candle or the FDAX open, guys, please make sure that you wait ideally 60 seconds. Then you're waiting for the color change to occur. Then you're waiting for the stair step to be confirmed. Then you're waiting for the area at which they're failing to be confirmed. And then you're placing your trade, guys, in that order. So there's 5 things you want to do on that opening candle. So opening candle, firstly, wait 60 seconds. Secondly, wait for the color change. Thirdly, wait for the stair step to be confirmed. Fourthly, look for the area where the stair step is failing. And fifth, enter your trade. Now, for some of you, you're probably going, Lockie, what was that all about? Guys, the opening candle is the lowest performing trade that we have. It's the lowest performing. So if you're into statistics, guys, you're not an opening candle trader. Guys, all you're going to do is wait for the opening candle to close and then trade statically. Some days, guys, like yesterday, Cody did an incredible job yesterday, guys, on that opening candle. So if you are an opening candle trader, just follow that checklist, guys, and we should be pretty good. Now, with the FDAX at this point in time, 3 minutes until the gun goes, you've got a 60-minute long here. Typically, they would trigger, guys, once the actual cash market is opened. So a hypothetical scenario, the sellers may sell down here, guys. They may sell down, still the stair step, fail at the 50 fib, turn around, come back up, pick up the 60-minute long and skyrocket to the high side. Right now, that is a hypothetical. Guys, what I mean by that is we typically don't try and second guess the direction the market is moving, guys, until it actually opens and it will tell us everything it wants to do. Guys, if we do sell down, we've got 2 very, very important levels down the bottom here, guys, these green Fibonacci's. We've got a 60-minute buy point. If they go even lower than that, we've got a very, very strong 60-minute buy point down the bottom of the FDAX. It's very, very strong. If they get much below, guys, if they get much below 235.70, if we were to sell down, if they get much below that, guys, we are literally going to go for free fall. If we go for free fall, if we go for free fall, we are basically looking for yesterday's low as trigger points for daily shorts. So it could be a little bit crazy. Now, some more Fibonacci, guys, some more Fibonacci to think about for the FDAX traders, 100%. You guys are in a 4-hour long. You guys are in a 4-hour long. Now, the difference between the FESX and the FDAX, the sellers definitely own the stair step, unlike the FESX. As these guys are failing perfectly at the evil twins here on the 4-hour chart. So you guys are definitely in a 4-hour long. Now, if we were kissed by an angel, guys, they would sell back down again, re-trigger that 4-hour long, and we would pick up some really lovely longs. All right, so my preference at this point in time, dropping down to the 60-minute chart, is if we did get a small sell down, on FDAX Open, if we were, I'm not being rude, guys, kissed by an angel on this one. If they were to sell down as anywhere near, let's say 23,650, right, 23,650, there it is right there. If they get anywhere near 23,650, guys, on this little black line here, all right, they would have to go below these levels. Guys, give you a valid 5-minute chart trade. We might have a valid 5-minute chart trade rolling over into a 60-minute long. All right, so we'll let the opening candle come to us, guys. I do believe, certainly on the larger charts, there's been many selling attempts on the larger charts, and they're not going very well. So it's about time we get a really big buying day. What I'll do, guys, I'll put your Fibonacci extensions on. Again, for those that are going to trade the opening FDAX candle, we're looking for a 133, Fibonacci failure. There's going to be 2 Fibonacci's, guys. There's obviously going to be one going down, guys, if they do decide to sell. And I would suggest it's going to be a dominant candle going the other way as well. Okay, so just let them open, guys. Just let them open, do what they need to do. Now, once again, guys, if you're brand new to what we do, just be very careful of the opening candle on FDAX, guys. They've already blown up their volume. Guys, already blown up their volume, which is a good sign. So what it means for the FDAX traders is, again, there is a backup trade. As this static bar reversal is 100% valid. As if you do want to go short on the SBR, guys, you're looking at a 64 entry. Now, if you, again, guys, it's a 64 entry with a 59 first target, right? So that's obviously smashed its target straight away. For the FDAX traders, if you trade static bar reversals, guys, you've got a short at 64. You've got a short at 64, first target 59. Well done, Diane. That's a beautiful trade. Now, for those that want to trade the opening candle, see that 133 fib extension failure that just occurred? Right? So now the sellers own the stair step. You guys are looking for buying base reversals as per these 60-minute longs that we were talking about earlier. NASDAQ and S&P, I've got nothing for you at this stage. All right, nothing for you at this stage. Now, for those that trade the 133 Fibonacci extension, I know these guys have gone straight to the 133 fib, turn around and back the other way. If you have taken that trade, guys, your volatility is quite low. So please do control your risk at 5 points worth of profit. And then roll from there. Diane, that's a beautiful trade, guys. Diane picked up 5 points on the FDAX. Diane, you're sending those messages to just me, just so you know. Diane picked up, guys, this little static bar reversal short. I trust, Diane, you waited for the buyers to push up on the opening candle, change volume, buyers on the stair step, so then you went short. Geez, nice work, mate. Well done. Okay, well done, well done, well done. All right, now for those that don't have, for those, oh, well, paid in 8 seconds, Diane, that's exactly what we want to occur. All right, now for those that are brand new to what we do, guys, we tend to not enter FDAX trades in the last 90 seconds of the candle. So you'll see my timer will change colors, guys, in the last 90 seconds, just to remind you of again, you're starting to get into the danger zone with the candle. I do think these guys are going to go a little bit further, right? I do think they are going to go a little bit further. If they do go further, that's 53. All right, now for the FDAX traders at this point in time, I'm looking at the FESX. It normally tries and goes to the 50 fib of the day. Guys, pretty early on in the cash market. Now, there's no new signals. There's no new signals at this stage on the FDAX. All right, so no new signals on the FDAX. I'm just waiting to see if the sellers can push the market down aggressively. As my ATM has just triggered on this reversal here, right? And I've got out with partial profit. So we haven't actually got going yet on this FDAX. Okay, haven't actually got going yet. Now, let's start to space out the S&P 500 traders and see what we can come up with. I'm expecting the FDAX to go a little bit further to the downside. Guys, now they've just kissed that 133 fib extension perfectly. I reckon we're toying with these 60-minute longs. Right, so we'll be very, very careful on FDAX. At this stage, guys, your climactic reversal on FDAX, which is going to occur in 1 minute and 5 seconds, guys, that is a seller-owned candle with a seller-owned close, meaning the buying base, the climactic reversal is going to be a long, not a short. Guys, just be aware of that. Now, I would absolutely love the FESX to come down to the 50 fib of the day. I always love it to come down here. I'd love the FDAX to do exactly the same, because we're going to pick up a potential 50 fib reinforced climactic reversal off the 133 extension with 60-minute chart agreement. So that could actually be quite good fun. But at this stage, for the super careful traders on FDAX, you would be looking for, ideally, the sellers must push down inside the new candle, and you're looking for a 50 fib reversal, a 133 reversal, or a reversal at 650, all going long, please. Okay, so there's multiple longs setting up for the FDAX traders. Sellers must push down first on the FDAX before you take the climactic reversal long. Now, for our NASDAQ and S&P traders, most for NASDAQ and S&P traders, you are looking, guys, you're looking to wait. Guys, it's very, very painful. very, very, very painful indeed. At this stage, I've got the NASDAQ guys trading back into the pre-top. Okay, trading back into the pre-top. That generally is not going to work very well. Let me just watch this FDAX, guys. Again, if we get a lower low, as if we do get a lower low, that would be absolutely phenomenal, right? We're looking for the lower low. My preferred signal is the 50 fib reversal. My backup trade is over the top of the 133 fib. My backup trade behind that, guys, is 650. Now, if you are going to take any trade on the FDAX because your volatility is low, guys, you would be looking for a 5-point first target. Now, FDAX traders, if you're long over the top of the 133 at 49, you're through targets. If you're long at 650, you're through targets, please. Now, this is a climactic reversal. Geez, nice work, buddy. This is a climactic reversal long, guys. Seller own candle, seller own close. Buying base reversal after the lower low, please. Less than 3 seconds. Geez, I love your work. I love your work. You wonder why, guys. You wonder why we don't want to change anything. We just leave it like it is. We just leave it like it is. So climactic reversal traders, well done. You waited for the lower low. Then you may have entered, guys, over the 133 extension, or you've entered at 650, which is my backup trade. That's tracking really well for the FTX traders. Oh, Andy, nice work, man. Talk about, guys, talk about being careful on the opening candle. You can just let the opening candle close and then let the algorithm trigger. Guys, you can do that if you want. That's a beautiful little trade. So well done, everybody. For the NASDAQers, guys, I can't send you down. I can't send you up. I would be very, very watchful of what's about to occur. As if the NASDAQ and S&P 500, guys, if we get those dual efficient candles to the high side, then we're going to go long, guys, like Steve was talking about, guys, all the way up to the gravitation point up there, that 90%. Many people would have a very, very close eye, on the 88.6. Like very, very close eye on that one. So let's just see what they do. Guys, we've got 90 minutes together. That's a ton of time. Shelton, KPI met in the first 8 minutes for 3-hour day in a row. I'm heading off. So Shelton heading off. So very good trade, mate. Well done. Yeah, that's phenomenal. Guys, that's phenomenal. So now, guys, I had a question before about the US Open live trading room. So when are we going to be doing US Open live trading room? Guys, we're just trying to get the technology, guys, sorted with TTP to allow us to do that. And then we are going to be running a Wednesday night, guys. We're running a Wednesday night US Open trading room. The whole idea behind that, guys, is to profile the strategy being used on the US Open. It is an incredible strategy to trade on the US Open. Just incredible. Okay, now at this stage, guys, the S&P 500 traders, are picking up a reversal short. As ideally, see this little static bar reversal short just here. You guys are looking for a short with an entry at 546.75. 546.75 on S&P 500 with a 4, 8, and 12 tick target, please. 4, 8, and 12 tick target. Now, that being said, for the FDAX traders, might I suggest at this stage that the buyers have retraced back up. Notice the buyers have retraced back up. They've then got caught at key Fibonacci levels again. As we're not going to take a trade, guys, in the last, so we certainly won't take a trade as in the last sort of 90 seconds of the candle. Ideally, what I'm looking for is a push well below. So a push well below the 50, a push well below the 50 of the day. Okay, would be absolutely brilliant for a reversal long. May I suggest we're going to have to be very, very careful, guys, if the FDAX gets below the 50 fib, we are not going long on the FDAX. Guys, we are not going long on the FDAX. Guys, if you want to be really cheeky on the FDAX, we've got a gap down on the FESX, which is very exciting. So guys, if you want to go short on the FDAX, see that red diamond delta short just here. Guys, it's 644. If we retrace above 644, you can take a very, very cheeky short. Guys, if we retrace above that, let me just check your gap 76s. Our gap's already closed. Okay, yeah, so I've got no problem with that short. As you would need the buyers to come back up, guys, pick up that red diamond short at 644, or guys, we're just going to wait for the market to fall down and pick up an OSR style reversal, guys, in around about 4 or so minutes from now. Now, NASDAQ, I still doesn't know what it's doing. S&P 500, if you are short underneath this static bar reversal, guys, I'll put a little circle on it for you. If you are short underneath that one, I was about 30 seconds late giving you the entry. Guys, if you're short at 46.75, your first target is 4 ticks, your second target is 8 ticks, your third target will be the 50 fib of the day, guys, or 12 ticks, depending on what you prefer to go for. Guys, if you are short on the NASDAQ, S&P 500, okay, this is your 12 tick target here. Guys, understanding you've gone through the 4s, you've gone through the 8s, you've got nothing at risk on your 12. So this is now complete money for jam. Nice, so complete money for jam, please. For the FDAX, I still don't have a retracement yet. If we get a black diamond delta, a red diamond delta, guys, if we get a red diamond delta short on the FDAX, guys, we would be looking for a short. We have got the gap below us here. That Fibonacci has now expired, so we can get rid of that Fibonacci altogether. And I'd suggest the Fibonacci we're most focused on is understanding we've got those 60-minute chart reversals. The fibs we're most focused on are these ones down here. Okay, again, if we were to pick up a reversal down there, look at this go. This is perfect. If we were to pick up a reversal down here, guys, we can hook back round into those 60-minute longs. That would be divine. Guys, did anybody happen to pick up that red diamond delta there? Guys, did anybody get that red diamond delta? Short, I did, guys, I did, and I got ATM'd on the delta at +2. So I got ATM'd on the delta at +2. So at this point, guys, I'm sitting at 4 points only on FDAX. So some of you have got much better results than I have so far. But I would suggest throughout the session, we should be able to catch up pretty happily. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's just watch. As I'm watching for the OSR to be set, so first 15 minutes of FDAX trading. As one of the reasons we don't want to be long as on the FDAX is we've actually gapped below. We've actually gapped below the 50 of the day. Okay, something we've got to be very, very careful of. You see showing zero balance after clicking on the rolling over thing. Got my sim cash value still there. Tio, that's a good one. That's a good one. Have you got any trades running, Tio? Have you got any trades running at the moment? For any live trades? Okay, you could disconnect and reconnect your data feed. So disconnect and reconnect your data feed. That might kick Ninja into a, hey, Tio wants some information here. You could do that and see, see what happens and then come back to us and we'll be able to guide you accordingly. Now, at this stage, guys, we're looking at a gap. So just be careful on this one. You're in your last 90 seconds on the FDAX. We're looking at a gap-based reversal long, guys. We're looking at a gap-based reversal long, but we need the FESX, bottom right-hand corner. We need the FESX to be over the top of the 50 of the day. Okay, that would be really, really smart. What is also going to occur for the FDAX trade is you're about to pick up the OSR trade. So the OSR will be set in 25 seconds. As if the sellers then sell down towards the OSR and the buyers hit them, you can go long over the top of the existing candle, or you can take a body-based static bar reversal long on FDAX. Ideally, it would be really lovely if the sellers sell down towards the OSR and the new candle. What are you going to do on close, FDAX? Okay. So what we've got, guys, what we've got is a scenario where the FESX is gapped up, FDAX is gapped down. Right? So we've got basically they're arguing with each other. This will be the OSR trade. Right? This will be the OSR trade. So for the sellers coming in like this, guys, all I want you to do is draw your Fibonacci up to catch them on the way down. Okay, if they retrace down and fail at Fibonacci, as we've got the 50 fib of the day above us, technically we would enter on the 50 fib of the day and just run the market back the other way. Now, that's a little bit annoying. That's a little bit annoying because we do have the 50 fib in the way. The flip side of the 50 fib in the way is if you have ignored the 50 fib and you've just waited for the sellers to sell down on the OSR candle, then gone long over the top of the candle, your entry's at 640, your first target is 645, and you've gone through it. Now, would I recommend that trade for beginner traders? No, because you're assuming the market's going to push through a known area, which is the 50 fib of the day. Exactly. That's exactly my point, Andy. So mathematically, guys, mathematically, the trade is there. Aesthetically, we don't like trading through the 50 fib of the day, right? So it simply means we say, you know what, Lockie, the trade is not as perfect as what we want it to be, even though it's gone to a short range target, and that's a bit annoying. Long story short, is we would need to wait for a better setup with no concerns, and I think we're going to get lots of those today. So therefore, there's no rush. There's no rush to try and smash the markets in the first sort of 25 minutes or so. Now, at this stage, NASDAQ and S&P 500, for the S&P traders that know what they're doing, you picked up a 4 and an 8 and then a nothing. Now I'm looking for the NASDAQ to push a higher high, guys, and the S&P 500 to push a higher high. What I want, guys, is I want a higher high. I want them to push up and fail, and then we're looking for shorts, or we get a nice, efficient, dominant candle long on both American markets simultaneously. And then we look for a really lovely long. We look for a really lovely long. Now, guys, for those that are learning what we do, note that if you put the Fibonacci extension, Fibonacci retracement over the top of the OSR candle, wait for the sellers to sell down, hit the Fibonacci and get rejected, you normally pick up a really lovely trade. Guys, that trade yesterday for Cody's session absolutely flew, that OSR trade. Now, today we've got the 50 of the day in the way, right? So that's one of the reasons it's not flying at this stage. Petros, yep. What we've got, mate, what we've got on the NASDAQ, it's probably failing at Fibonacci, you're correct. The issue we've got with the NASDAQ is we're going short back into pivots. So again, there might be tiny little sort of sniping trades off the 161.8. There might be there, absolutely. And if you're very good at what you do, guys, you can look to trade those. If you're brand new to what we do, guys, we are going to pick up a number of trades today. Yeah, like that Fibonacci, right where the Asian high is the 161.8. Okay, so guys, if you've got some experience, every time they push through the 161.8 and fail, you could send them short. Okay, so that's a very good spot. Very good spot. I'm waiting for very clear guidance, guys, on America as to what they're going to do. And I think we're going to probably pick up a really good trade over there. But Petros, really good Fibonacci work there, mate. Okay, so that 161.8 fib extension failure, absolutely on the money, right? On the money. Now, let's just have a look. Guys, we've got 1 minute to go on the candle. One compliment to young Petros, if I can. Guys, one of the reasons that he would start hunting for this Fibonacci extension is, see this candle here has gone mustard green. There's a reason why it's gone mustard green. It's normally the 161.8. So in this case here, you could have waited for the higher high and taken a short underneath that. Let them sell down, wait for the higher high, gone short underneath, wait for the higher high and gone short underneath. Right, here we go. No, here we go. Europe is waking up. So at this stage, guys, just keep an eye on for the FDAX traders. Again, we are going to pick up a 76 Fibonacci reversal here. There's no doubt about that. What we do want to keep an eye on is we don't want the FESX, guys, to close underneath its OSR. If we do pick that, if they do close under the OSR, guys, we're not going to go for the 76 fib reversal. We're going to keep a very, very close eye on the open and yesterday's low. guys, and to reverse off the open, I would need them to push down, tag the pre-bottom or yesterday's low, and then come back the other way. All right. Now the FESX, what has it done? It has literally closed on its OSR. It had a chance to close underneath it, guys, and it did get rejected. So I think the safest trade for the DAX traders, will be a sell down. Ideally, guys, I'd love to get somewhere near yesterday's low, and then we pick up a long over the top of the open. Let me just double check. That might actually come pretty quick. Okay. I would suggest it's very, very smart, guys, that we wait for the sellers to sell down here. If you're looking for a reversal long, we wait for the sellers to sell down, as it would be great if they got halfway between yesterday's low and the open, and you picked up a reversal long over the top of the open. That would be amazing. Don't forget for the FDAX traders, guys, and right across the board, even the Nazi traders. If these guys can't sell down and start smashing in the new territory, they're going to go and trigger that 60-minute long. So therefore, for everybody, guys, we're looking for long-range, long signals at this stage. Now, if we break down to the downside on the European markets, as if we were to break down on the European markets, then we're looking for long-range shorts. Right now, we're trying to get the NASDAQ to work out what it's doing. Okay, let's just see what we get. Guys, we're treading very carefully. Thanks a lot, we Samurai team. Tio, thank you for your, appreciate that feedback. Tio, I think the difference between Samurai and a lot of trading schools, if I can be bold, is that the people that run Samurai actually trade every day. So this is like what we do. We are professional traders first and educators second. So yeah, there's a lot of trading schools out there that basically educate but don't do any kind of trading whatsoever. That, I don't know, Tio, I don't know about you, but that rings alarm bells for me, because if the trading strategy was really good, then surely everybody would be trading. I mean, if the trading strategy was good, I reckon everyone would be on it and they'd be having a ball, and it's amazing. So I'm thinking at this point in time that trading schools, ideally the people running the schools should also be trading. I think that's probably pretty important. Now, guys, we're watching the Asian high at this point in time. Now, if the Europeans do decide they're going to close over the top of the Asian high, that is a very big sign that we are going to be buying the US markets. It's a very big sign that Europe has actually finished selling and is now going to start buying. So this is how these guys all work in cahoots with each other. Yeah, Alan, it's a funny old world, right? But I think it's important that, again, if you're running a trading school, I think it's important that you trade and don't just talk about it. I think and guys, and I don't want to jump on my soapbox on this one, but it's such a good point. My humble opinion, there is no way that someone can brief you on the psychology of professional trading if they don't trade. I'm amazed, Diane, of course not. I'm amazed at the number of people that claim to be trading psychology experts, but they don't actually trade. That would be like, I'm not being rude, guys and girls, but that would be like the rugby team trying to teach ballet and vice versa. It's like a ballet dancer trying to teach the rugby team how to run with a ball. It's just not. I just know, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that can't see the fit here. But I'm adamant, guys. I love trading. I've been trading for a long time, and I love the art of trading. Now, guys, we're getting ready for longs on the NASDAQ. We're getting ready for longs on the S&P 500. Guys, now, again, if we're going to go long, guys, on any of these American markets, FDAX, you're looking for a gap-based reversal. So you're looking for this candle to close, the sellers to sell back down towards the lower OSR get rejected. You want a Fibonacci over that candle. You want to make sure they close over the gap and stay over the gap, please. All right, 5-point targets for you guys. For the NASDAQ traders, guys, what we need is we need a structured retrace and a structured rejection. So that means Fibonacci's on the candle. Guys, the sellers must sell down first before joining the market. All right, so here comes the sell down. Guys, if you're being very careful on the NASDAQ, guys, your entry goes 2 ticks over the top of the candle at 24.25. Right, 24.25. FDAX, there is no long for you there, please. The only thing you guys can get is a sell down to the open, lower low, and an open base reversal. Guys, just be careful on that. As in, guys, all of the proofs got to be met. So FDAX, you might be looking for a push down around yesterday's low before you look to go long over that 88.6 fib. For the NASDAQ traders, guys, we must get a structured retrace. Okay, so at the moment, we've got a reasonable retrace. So what we're looking for, guys, is, again, this is why we don't, please don't put your order on the body of the candle. Guys, don't put your order on the body of the candle. That's not strong enough proof, right? We need proof. So what we need is the buyers. If they're going to buy the market, guys, they're going to buy at that black diamond delta, which is on the chart at 23.75. If you're being very careful, you're going to go 2 ticks over the top of that. Your volatility is calling for a 20-tick target and a 12-tick risk control point. Okay, so again, that is a 20-tick target. Okay, make sure it's in the right spot. That's a 20-tick target. And at this point, guys, it's all about the push, retrace, reject. Okay, so at this point, we are literally saying to the NASDAQ, one of the bigger markets in the world, you prove to me you are actually interested in reversing, because I'm not going to get smoked into a fake out, guys, which is what we might be looking at now. They actually might have pushed through the Asian high to basically take out everybody's stop losses. Then they're going to close back inside Asian's high. We're going to get a really, really lovely little sell down. All right. So let's just, oh, here we go. So this is why we use push, retrace, reject, guys. Oh, dearie me. All right, FDAX. All right, be very, very careful at this point in time. Guys, look, we're at very, very important levels. Guys, on FDAX, there is a long at 23600 over yesterday's low, 23600. Okay, now you don't want to get filled on that trade, guys, in the last 90 seconds of the candle. Right, you do not want to get filled in the last 90 seconds. If you're being really careful, guys, wait for this current candle to close and then look for an entry. We can't take that delta short on the FDAX at this point in time because we're assuming a close over pivots. If this candle closes like that, guys, in 2 minutes and 10 seconds, the delta is looking amazing, but that's 2 minutes and 6 seconds from now. Now, for the NASDAQ traders, all right, we know about never entering on the body of the candle if we want a plus 93% success rate. Right, at this point in time, you're waiting for the sellers to retrace. As you're waiting for the buyers to reject the sellers, at this stage, they've had 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and there is no buyers here, guys. I reckon, Cody, do you reckon this was a stop loss sweep? Cody's in with us today. I think that's what he calls it, a stop loss sweep. I reckon that's what they've just done, guys. They've literally just basically swung through, tried to hit the stops of all the people that are swing trading the Asian high. Let me have a look, Ash. We're getting pretty close to that, mate. Getting pretty close. Yep. We're looking at 15-minute shorts. Guys, setting up. Right. Yeah, 15-minute shorts on both American markets setting up, which is absolutely lovely. So, guys, at this point in time, I'm very excited we are not long. All right. If we were long because we decided to push the button or do something silly, we would now be about to get stopped out. And it's so important that we follow that strategy. Now, what we're going to do, guys, for the Nazi traders is see this little static bar reversal over here on the left-hand side. Let's see that little static bar reversal. If we get the candle closing like this and the buyers push in above the static bar entry point, is at 91350, there is a potential for a sell here. All right, there is a potential for a sell. Now, you're going to have to, if that's not what you normally do, guys, just wait for the next trade, right? If that's not what you normally do, just wait for the next trade. If the buyers do push up above this static bar reversal, as you can see the red one right here, Okay, the buyers need to push up. We're looking to try and sell short at 913.75. 913.75. You're looking for, at this stage, guys, a 20 tick target with a 10 tick risk control point. Okay, now, so S&P traders, you're looking for a retracement back to the static bar reversal that's circled. NASDAQ traders, you're looking for a retracement back to the static bar reversal that I've identified for you, this one right here. The buyers need to push above. Guys, we're going to do the same thing again. All right, so Fibonacci comes down the candle. Once Fibonacci comes down the candle, ideally needs to catch them on the way back up. So you would need, guys, the buyers to push back through to, let's say, that 38 Fibonacci there, which gets you well above your trade entry point. Don't you do that to us, NASDAQ. Don't you do that. Come on. You've only just got above the entry point. Okay. No. Okay. All right. Anyone who's short, guys, on the NASDAQ, it happens to be this 141.4 Fibonacci. As if you are short on that one, all right, I'm calling for a 20 tick target, a 20 tick first target, which looks like that, right? A 20 tick first target with a 12 to 14 tick risk control point. So if you guys are short on the white, on that little dotted line where I was trying to send you short, you've just tagged your 20 tick target. Did anybody, Nazi, get that one? Anybody Naz get that? If you're not short already, guys, it's already gone through its target. So please don't go short again. Okay. Petros got it. Some people got skipped. That's all right. So what we're basically doing, guys, is now you're not allowed to enter the same trade again, please, guys, unless we go significantly higher and get rejected again. Right? So it's really about push, retrace, reject. The reason being is these guys are selling down, guys, into the pre-top. It's a valid static bar reversal over here. Buyers own the stair step. Sellers are in command. We just want to wait for the buyers to fake into the market, and then we wanted to just sell it down. Now we've got to wait for that faking to be even more powerful. All right, so we've got to let these guys push back up. All right, got to let them push back up. It would be really good if they push through to Fibonacci. So they've just pushed through to that 38 fib that we were talking about. Guys, again, if this is the turning point in the market, guys, you'll get 2 or 3 buying campaigns, then the second or third buying campaign will get absolutely annihilated. Well done, Ken. That's nice, mate. Well done. Well done. FDAX traders, the Delta V2 short we spoke about. Okay, Delta V2 short. If you are short on the Delta, guys, at 587, so you're waiting for the candle to close, wait for the buyers to retrace and then fail. If you're short at 587, your first target is 582, and you're on target now. Guys, if you've taken that Delta short, 587, your first target is 582. You've gone through target. Your second target is 578. So 577. Double check. Yep. Okay. Well, boom. Okay. Anybody short on the FDAX Delta? We spoke about this about 2 minutes before the close of the previous candle. If you've gone short, well done, Giz. Nice work. That's lovely. So if you've gone short on the Delta, guys, at 587, first target is 82. Second target is 77. And we've gone through the first and the second target on the Delta V2 short, if that is you. Okay, mate. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Now, for everybody else, guys, we're just basically waiting for these guys to reset. All right, waiting for these guys to reset. We're not going to take the short, guys, on the NASDAQ in the last 90 seconds of the candle. All right, so we're not going to take the short. FDAX, if you are short on the Delta, that little red diamond Delta there at 587, if you are short on that one, then you've gone through your targets. If we wanted to trade that Delta again, guys, just to be super clear, the buyers would need to push up, create an even higher high, get rejected again, and then we'd be looking to trade again, and that's got to occur inside the new candle. Andy, you got 17 short after the retrace to the 150 OSR. What I meant, that's a beautiful trade. Okay, beautiful trade indeed. So you traded short, mate. You traded short underneath the 150 OSR. All right, that's an awesome trade, mate. Well done. Yeah, great trade, mate. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, in fact, the Bank of Japan traders, guys, they're currently on holiday in Hawaii, so I haven't seen them for a little while. But they'll be back. They'll be back in the gym, I think, tomorrow. So I'll catch up with the Bank of Japan tomorrow. Let's have a quick powwow. probably end up talking about Hawaii mostly, but they're on holiday in Hawaii at the moment. For those that are following the Bank of Japan story, bloody incredible little journey that is. Now we are, guys, 35 minutes into the session at this point in time. NASDAQ traders, you've basically picked up one tiny little short only. I think what is most important about the NASDAQ traders is, again, we've only got one tiny little trade for some traders, but we dodged a bullet up here, which would have been really expensive. So some days, guys, my humble opinion, it's more important about avoiding losing trades than getting winning trades. All right, now we are going to get more trades. Guys, we're just waiting for Europe to decide what it wants to do. Note, guys, that Europe has sold down to a super strong 60-minute buy point. So this would be a really lovely spot if we get a really awesome second tier reversal on the FDAX. For those that are new to what we do, a second tier reversal looks like this. They sell down, they buy back, they sell down, and then we want to go. All right, it's got a W for wealth. There are other names for it, guys, step break and la la la. But that's what we want to see. At the moment, that is that. All right, so we're waiting for the buyers to push in, waiting for the sellers to smack them again. And then, guys, we might be picking up that classic turn of the hour, right? Turn of the hour trade. All right, now we'll just keep an eye on them. All right, so at this stage, guys, we only traded once short on we only picked up one short on the NASDAQ. Some of you got skipped, right? So I'll report that as some people got skipped. Again, we're looking at going back over the top, guys, of the Asian high. And again, there'll be a classic push for trace reject scenario. Guys, last time we got up there on the NASDAQ, the buyers were very, very strong. And we said, righto, prove yourselves. And they couldn't. Guys, the second time over the top of the Asian high could be bringing all the proof back. All right, now they've got 3 minutes to go and they are very, very strong. If we get a 4-point turning bar, guys, for the European traders, if we get a 4-point turning bar on the FESX, which is highly likely, highly likely, guys, everyone's going to reverse here. So massive well done for the FTX traders, picked up the Delta short. You guys know exactly what target to go through. You've gone through your targets perfectly. Now you're looking at this going, wow, I'm lucky I've got an ATM on. Okay, ATM is automated trade management, guys, for those that are not aware. Okay, Asian high. Highs is currently being a right pain for S&P 500. Look at this. You look, this is really annoying them. All right, so the moment they close over the top of the Asian high, they couldn't hold it, got shoved straight back in again. Ken, nice work, mate. Well done. Very nice trade. So for the Nazi traders, as we know about the first 10 to 15 minutes, we were looking for them to close outside Asia and they couldn't. So that's why we're not running eyes at the moment, because Asian high is being a little bit of a pain for everybody. But if we do close, guys, a nice strong buying candle above the Asian high on both American markets, guys, if we do that, it's going to be really good fun. If we don't do that, we're looking at another reversal. Okay, now what is our little DAXy doing here? Let's have a look. Okay, I reckon the best trade on FDAX, guys, for the DAXy traders, you guys have already got some money in the bank, which is exciting. For the FDAX traders, best thing to do, guys, if we get a bit of a sell down, bit of a turn on the hour, it might not occur for the first sort of 10 minutes of the new hour, but if it does occur, guys, they're likely to try and trade back to at least the 50 of the day, which is going to pick us up a really lovely trade. No, really lovely trade. Now, yesterday, guys, at this time, I was sitting at about 500 US in profit per account times 6 accounts. And today I'm at $87.71. So it's amazing how some days it literally, it's just money for jam. And then other days it's a little bit less than that, but that's all right. That's all right. That's why we just focus on what we get presented. All right, now at this stage, guys, we are going to get an efficient candle long on NASDAQ. again, the S&P 500 is under a pivot, so we can't go long on NASDAQ. Guys, we cannot go long on NASDAQ. We can only go short. And we're just watching that S&P close at this stage. Okay, what are we doing here? Oh dear. Okay, NASDAQ traders, at this stage, the S&P has gapped onto the pivot. Right, now what that means is we're going to do exactly the same thing as what we did last time. Right, we must get a structured retrace. We must get a structured rejection. I don't want to just enter over the top of the candle. Don't you run without us, please. I don't want to just enter over the top of the candle, guys, because we're likely to get caught. All right, now typically we wait for the retrace, even if it takes about 30 or so seconds. We wait for the retrace, we wait for the rejection, then we know there's bigger boys and girls that are coming to play the game. At this stage, we don't know yet. All right, so I'm just going to implore you to try and be a little bit patient on the NASDAQ. With some of the Black Diamond Delta traders, you may have already gone long. Guys, now just be advised, if you have gone long on the Delta, guys, with the volatility of 35, as your target on the Delta is only 10 ticks. Right? Only 10 ticks or 50 US dollars. At this stage, as for the junior traders who want to enter statically, as we're waiting for the retrace, waiting for the rejection, and then we're looking to enter the trade. Now, as much as that sounds like a little bit of a pain in the bum, so to speak, technical trading term, as much as it sounds like a bit of a pain, that just kept us out of a losing trade. Right, so we just got to try and follow that strategy as best as we can. FDAX, don't reverse now, please. Ah, dear. Don't reverse now, please. Those Black Diamond Deltas, eyes on FDAX, are very, very tempting trades, right? Because it's a Black Diamond Delta. It's a buy signal. It's straight after a static bar reversal long. Very, very tempting, guys. I don't normally trade the Delta through pivots. Now, the reason that the FDAX is doing what it's doing is we've got a 4-point turning bar long on the FESX. It's almost a 4-point turning bar, not quite. What does it mean, guys? That the FDAX is again, if we were to get a sell down towards the turn of the hour, we're looking for long range reversals long. I hope this is not where they're stopping. I do know, guys, look at this. Remember the black line we drew on the chart at the session? Look at this. Strong buy point on the 60-minute chart. If you are long, guys, off that buy point, you're a very, very long way under profit. A very long way under profit. Okay, NASDAQ traders. I did not get the retracement and the rejection that I wanted in order to go long. If anybody is long on the Delta, guys, if you're long on the Black Diamond Delta, you're looking for a 10-tick target only. Okay, 10-tick target only. Or you're going for a slightly longer range target, but you're going to control your risk at 10 ticks. So if they don't run, FDAX, you're making me look very silly at this point in time. Now, have we got Suzanne in today? Suzanne, you want to check out this drop of ratio here? Check out this drop of ratio. Just incredible, guys. And again, for those that love trading the FESX, yeah, look, Suzanne, look at the drop in ratio on the FESX at the same time it happened on the FDAX. So even though we've got pivots in the way, the static bar reversal is just pummeling the pivots. Well done, Remy. 11 times 4 on the Black Diamond Delta. Well done. Now, for the NASDAQ traders, just be really careful here. Right? So the Black Diamond Delta has gone to its target. We are now in the last 90 seconds of the candle. Guys, what that means is even if we do get the retrace and the rejection, we cannot go long. We can only go short. Okay, we can only go short. Now, what does that mean? Guys, what does that mean? 1 minute to go. Let me have a quick look over here. Okay, there will be a Fibonacci. All right, so we may be picking up a short here, guys, on NASDAQ. Okay, I'm just going to put a Fibonacci on. Let me have a quick look. Okay, let me get rid of this one here. Okay, we are about to pick up a static bar reversal short, guys, on the NASDAQ. Okay, it's going to have a 10-tick first target and risk control point. Guys, the 10-tick first target and risk control point. like what we've been doing before. Again, it would be really good if it closes like that. I do want the buyers to show on the next candle. I want the buyers to show on the next candle, and then the sellers come through. Okay, let me just check the micro trend. Okay, the micro trend 50 Fibonacci, guys, is just below. What it means is you've got two choices on the NASDAQ. Guys, if the buyers show, guys, I need them to show a little bit, like a little bit of a push through. Come on, off you go, please. The entry, guys, the entry on NASDAQ, okay, is at 20.25, right? At 20.25, which is 2 ticks below the candle. Guys, we have the 50 fib of the micro trend here as at 19.25, which is only 4 ticks. Guys, it's only 4 ticks into the trade. All right, that means one of two things, guys. That means one of two things. You don't take the trade, right? You don't take the trade because the 50 fib is too close, or you take the trade and try and push through the 50 fib down to the 76s, which is all the way down here. Now, if you are going to go short, guys, on the NASDAQ, if you are going to go short, okay, you are looking for a 10-tick first target and risk control point, okay, which looks like this. Now, I believe at this stage, let me just double check, 2575. Okay. With the pros and cons we've spoken about, as at this stage, the buying has failed on the S&P 500 to push the market up. It is likely the NASDAQ is going to sell down. With the 50 fib, guys, with the 50 fib, that's only 4 ticks away from the entry point, I think we're going to get better trades. There is no doubt about that. Guys, I think we're going to get a better trade. Some of you might want to try and push it down, guys. Again, pushing through the 50 fib of the day, pushing through the Asian high, guys, not a smart trade at this point in time. Yeah, so what I've got, guys, and you're looking, if you're brand new to what we do, and you're like, well, hang on a sec, Lockie, look at Europe run. Why is Europe running? Yeah, Dan, spot on. We're in the last 15 minutes. Why is Europe running and the Americans not? Well, it's because we've got one American market above the Asian high. We've got another American market below the Asian high. The moment these guys agree with each other, then we're on for a really lovely move. It's a really, really lovely move. Now, FDAX, guys, what we may get on FDAX, I'm really hoping we do get on FDAX, is I want them to come back down. What I'm looking for is the sellers to push back down on FDAX, guys, towards the turn of the hour. That's around 12 minutes away. Some days the market obviously doesn't do exactly what you want it to do. If you trade in the last 15 minutes, guys, that is a valid long on the FDAX there, right? So you've got a 1-rated candle just there. It's a valid long. There's no question about that. All right, your entry would be over the top of the candle at 37. Your first target is 42. Your second target is 47. Okay, it's on 47 at the moment. So you do have a valid reversal signal, guys, on the S&P 500 to the high side. It is reinforced by the FESX down here. It is a ratio-based trade in that you've got an increase of ratio versus the decrease we were talking about down the bottom. Okay. Now, look at exactly what the NASDAQ is doing, guys. And note this 50 fib. I was talking about, hang on a second, we've got an issue here with that 50 fib. We are likely, guys, to pick up buy signals because we can't sell. SBR FDAX 1540 if it fails at the 76s. Jizz. Yes, you could. So, Jizz, the reason you can look for that static bar reversal on the left-hand side of the chart, right, is because the buyers have just stolen the stair step on the FDAX. Yeah, Andy, it's incredible, mate. Look at this. Look. So again, it all comes down to the ratio of the candle, mate. It all comes down to the ratio of the candle. So our turn of the hour trade, I thought we were going to pick up an incredible long. We might actually be picking up a short, which is exactly what Jizz was talking about. Exactly what Jizz was talking about. So Okay, now for the Nasdaq traders, so we spoke about not going short because of the 50 fib. We might have dodged a second bullet on the Nasdaq, which is always important. If we get an efficient candle here, guys, on the Nasdaq, okay, so if we get an efficient candle on the Nasdaq, and it's a CORPC bar, which it is, and we get a retracement and we get a rejection, as we may be picking up a long if we've got agreement from the S&P 500. Okay, so again, guys, let's be very careful, please. We're in the last 15 minutes of the hour. Guys, now what I mean by structured retrace is they must come down, touch a Fibonacci, and very obviously reject off that Fibonacci. All right, they must do that. Guys, now again, I don't want to be super strict on you, guys, but again, we are here to make money. We're not here to make stuff up. I was going to use a different word, but I won't. So we haven't got the retrace we need yet, guys. This has saved us one stop out already. Right, saved us one stop out already. If we get two little pushes down, guys, on the Nasdaq, like two little pushes down, and then the second push down by the sellers, they get slammed, then the black diamond delta is valid at 930 long if you trade in the last 15 minutes of the hour. Guys, now once again, your volatility is low. It means your target expectation is also low. All right, so we would be looking for a long, guys. If you're going to engage the delta at 930, your target is 932.50, or your risk control point will be 932.50 if you trade in the last 15 minutes. Now for the FTX traders, at this stage, we don't normally trade the FTX in the last 15 minutes. That's because we normally pick up a killer turn of the hour trade, which absolutely hammers to target. Okay, so that's the second push down here on the Nasdaq. Yes. So S&P's got above, guys, got above the Asian Open, but only just. So, for those that don't normally trade with us, the last 15 minutes of the hour, the signal success rate drops from around at 93.5% down to 83%. So a lot of the FTX traders don't trade in the last 15 minutes for that reason. We've become a little bit superstitious about it. But because we get so many good trades, we don't need to trade the last 15 minutes, particularly for the FTX, right? Particularly for the FTX. Now, Nasdaq traders, guys, if you are on the delta, it is highly likely to be a very slow burn. As the reason being is that again, we are in the last 15 minutes. Now, as a result, guys, slow burn. It's not going to absolutely fly. Guys, it's basically going to just dribble along and then probably pop. All right. So at the moment, it's dribbling. At the moment, it's dribble. So it'll be just a dribble pop process normally. FTX at this point in time, we're waiting for a turn of the hour, guys. We're waiting for the turn of the hour trade. Nasdaq, you don't have a retracement to so you don't have a structured retracement to Fibonacci for an efficient candle long, right? So that's those people that want to trade the strength indicator long, right? That's that indicator there, right? That one right there. So you've got a strong candle, right? You've got a strong candle, but to trade a strong candle, we must get the retrace, we must get the rejection. Mathematically, that delta right there, okay, entry price of 930, mathematically, it is very, very likely to go way over 10 ticks, right? So that's why a target of 10 ticks is putting a very, very low expectation on the market. The flip side of the 10 ticks, guys, it's only $50 US. It's not a massive amount of money in the scheme of the world. We are in the last 15 minutes, so it is going to move slower than normal. Guys, now, if you do trade the last 15, a lot don't. If you do trade the last 15, again, if you don't trade the last 15 minutes, you're usually just waiting for the hourly turn. And at this stage, guys, the hourly turn for the NASDAQ traders and the S&P 500 traders, the hourly turn is highly likely to be short, provided these guys agree with each other, which at this point in time, the S&P and NASDAQ don't agree with each other, guys. That's why they're being a little bit difficult to trade. For the FTX, Guys, for the FDAX, again, we spoke about trading the long candle to the high side. Okay, if you do trade the last 15 minutes. Guys, if you don't, we're just waiting for the turn of the hour. All right, Nasdaq traders, if you're long on the delta, guys, if you're long on the delta at 930, your target is 932.50. You've just cruised through that target now. Right, so if you do trade the last 15 minutes, guys, you're trading the delta, not the efficient candle. The delta's done exactly what it's required to do. Okay, if you are long, guys, well done. Okay. 932.5, mate, we're kissing that right now, which is perfect. Okay. What have we got? Pre-top, Asian high. We now have both American markets, guys, giving us quite weak buying candles. So quite weak buying candles, as in we're not buying. And they're both above the Asian high properly. So this is where we're going to see one or two things occur. Guys, we're going to see a bit of a rally to the high side. It's a bit of a rally to the high side, or we're going to see a complete capitulation on the turn of the hour, which I think is probably more likely. Giz, mate, the only thing that divides, and again, I'm open to your opinion on this, guys. I'm open to your opinion, but to me, the only thing that differentiates, I should say, the only thing that differentiates a highly successful trader from a non-successful trader. Okay, if I'm going to bring those slides back up for you, because the only thing that basically differentiates people is, again, it's a threefold thing. Right? It's the strategy that they use, because there's a million strategies out there. The vast majority of them don't work, but again, there's a million strategies out there. Secondly, you've got to see, it's strategy first, guys. A lot of people are out there saying, oh, you've got to work on your psychology first. You can't work on your psychology if you haven't got a strategy. If you haven't actually got something to focus on, like, right, I'm here to prove, for example, I'm here to prove that I can make $50. So let me grab this. I'm here to prove that I can make $50 on that delta strategy on the NASDAQ when it's outside the range of this candle here, which is an efficient CORPC candle. Okay, now, interesting point, okay? If you were wanting to prove, guys, if you were wanting to prove that strategy, right, and this is what I would do if I was brand new to trading, okay? There are deltas, so there's a delta there outside the range of an efficient candle, it's gone 10 ticks. There's a delta there outside the range of the efficient candle, it's gone 10 ticks. What does that mean? Okay, so far, just based on that strategy alone, I'm running at 100% strike rate, all right? I think I can develop some confidence in that. Awesome. Strategies in place. Now I've got to then develop knowledge. So why does this strategy actually work? Because the moment you suddenly go, oh my God, I get it. Like, aha, I've got it. Now I understand why this strategy works. Guys, suddenly what you do is you actually gain ownership of the strategy. So it's not Lachlan's strategy. It's not Samurai's teaching. You know, this is Giz's favorite trade is this one, this one, this one. For example, guys, Suzanne's favorite trade, she's a ratio-based trader. Right, so again, when we were talking before, guys, on the opening candle, I said you guys can go short under that static bar reversal short. That personally, that is Lockie's favorite trade in the world. That's my favorite trade in the world. So what happened? Everybody that went short underneath my favorite trade can be your favorite trade. We all made money, as we all made money. Cruise down here, static bar reversal long going back the other way. My rules kept me out of the trade. Those black diamond deltas are hilarious. And look at the market's response to the black diamond deltas. So you could say, all right, well, Lockie, my strategy is a black diamond delta. I now have the knowledge on how to use it. Now I've got to develop my confidence and my discipline around using that one thing. And I'm going to use that one thing only because I've proven it to be profitable and I don't need a second. And the cycle just keeps repeating, guys, over and over and over again. And there are people in the world, guys, there are people in the world that you know, I've said this 100 times, guys, there are people in the world that poo-poo indicators. Oh, bloody indicators. Oh, grumble, grumble. Okay, well, that's cool. That FDAX trade we took today is an indicator-based trade reinforced with mathematics. This delta we took, I personally took, guys, is a mathematical-based indicator with a crap load of theory behind it. these deltas here coming back the other way, it's all mathematics. Because I used to poo-poo indicators as well when I first started trading. Then I suddenly realized, hang on a sec, if I can make a crap load of money by putting indicators on my charts, and then I understand how those indicators work, then all the guesswork's gone. What does that mean? I can get really confident at trading. Speaking of that, we're coming to the turn of the hour. So what I need for a turn of the hour trade is S&P. I can't send you short on the NASDAQ, guys. I want to send you short on the NASDAQ. I can't send you short on the NASDAQ because the S&P is mucking around over the top of this Asian high. So you have to be very, very careful there. For the FDAX traders, buyers own the stair step. Okay, so what I'm looking for, FDAX, I would love the buyers, and Giz and I were talking about this before. Giz asked the question, Lockie, can we trade that static bar reversal just there? They've actually come up, picked up the sell 5 minutes early and fallen away. Literally 5 minutes early and fallen away. That's okay, guys. We'll get another one. We'll get another one. No, so the turn of the hour, for those that are new to what we do, the turn of the hour trade is normally a very, very predictable trade. It effectively is the institutional traders coming in on the 60-minute charts to basically start placing their entries. Okay, so they'll be over here on this chart here. And at this point in time, that Fibonacci, as that Fibonacci can go up to here, I would suggest. I'm just looking at what other people might be thinking. I reckon these guys are going to buy versus sell. So I reckon the American markets are going to buy. So what again we're looking for? We can't sell these guys down because the S&P is selling into a known area called Asia's high. If we do get a big efficient close, so 3 minutes away, if we do get a big, nice, efficient buying candle to the high side, guys, we're looking to buy the market again. Guys, now we don't quite have that yet. The black diamond delta that's on the NASDAQ, guys, I would personally trade that black diamond delta in the next candle. So I'd wait for this candle to close, wait for them to prove they were really, really strong, and then we're probably going to look to enter that delta on a retrace. For the FDAX traders, buyers on the step. So we're looking for selling based reversals. I know one of you was just talking about just got skipped. Skipped under the 76s. Giz got skipped just here. Okay, under the 76s. That's okay. That's okay. We'll just wait. As typically the FDAX wouldn't give us another crack at the sells. That is, guys, that is a ratio-based static bar reversal short. Okay, if you got skipped under the 76s, it is a static bar reversal short. For those that are reading that as a static bar reversal, guys, you're going short at 48 with your first target of 43. Now that's obviously gone through that target already if you're trading that as a static bar reversal short. As the drop in ratio occurred from this candle through to that candle and then jumped to that one. All right, so that little red one there is a static bar reversal short if you follow the maths. Again, for anyone who's not short on the FDAX, guys, your entry would have had to be at 48. It's already gone through the target of 43. So we're not going to re-enter again at 48 unless we see the buyers push through again and then fail again. And then we'd be looking for a re-entry. Ideally, the buyers would need to push back through to the 76s. If they do that, we could actually pick up a 76 fib reversal as well. Okay, so just let them do what they're doing. Nazi, at this stage, we're not going long, guys, on the delta till the candle confirms its strength. All right, that's going to happen in 1 minute and 15 seconds from now. This could be quite an efficient candle on both the American markets. So, guys, we're going to use the caveat we used last time, which is if you want to trade the actual efficient candle as a strong candle, we must get a structured retrace and we must get a structured rejection. Okay, that's going to look like that. I'll just offset the Fibonacci for you. Okay, that's going to look like that. Now, what I would suggest, guys, I'm with Cody on this one. He's talking about a 2 strength rated candle yesterday. We must close this candle on the NASDAQ. It must be green and it must close over the top of the previous candle. As if it doesn't close over the top of the previous candle, it's not a CORPC bar. And if that's the case, if it doesn't do that, we're looking for shorts, not longs. Okay, and at this point in time, these buyers are completely capitulating, which is exactly why we spoke about let the buyers show their strength before we trade the delta. So for the Nazi traders, as you're about to pick up shorts, not longs. As if you enter under the body of a static bar reversal, which is right here, you would be looking for a little bit of buying on this candle, and then you want the buyers to get slammed and pick up your short at 931.25. Now, if that is you, guys, if you're going to trade the static bar reversal short, once again, guys, depending on how you enter, if you enter on the body of the static bar reversal, which is for some people a valid entry, other people wait, guys, to be outside the range of the candle. Because your volatility is so low, guys, you're only looking for a 10-tick first target. Guys, a 10-tick first target. Or if you want to go for a longer range target, guys, you're going to control your risk at 10 ticks. All right, now what that little box there is 10 ticks. Right, so what I want the sellers to do is I want the sellers to move down through the bottom of the box relatively quickly. It means that we know we're on the right side, guys. It means we know we're on the right side of the market. S&P's got a climactic reversal. FDAX, you've got a higher high for the reversal again, please. So FDAX has got the higher high reversal. That Fibonacci, why is that Fibonacci? Doesn't need to go at this point in time. What I'm looking at, all right, so that is our entry there. So so fancy that. They've gone 8 ticks towards a 10-tick target. Those that enter statically underneath the candle, as you're obviously nowhere near getting picked up on your short trade yet. I don't think this is the end of the selling. I don't think this is the end of the selling. FDAX, guys, your static bar reversal, guys, we spoke about, you can re-enter exactly the same static bar reversal short again at 648. If you've entered at 648, guys, your target 643, currently trading at 642. Andy, well done, mate. You've got another good trade. So again, great trade, mate. Well done, well done, well done, well done. So FDAX traders, if you've gone short, guys, you're only looking for 5-point targets, please. All right, so you've gone short under that bar the first time. The buyers of them come through. They push through, create a higher high. You've gone short again. All right, so there might be a number of FDAX traders out there that have gone short twice at 648. Guys, your target is 643. Guys, and you've gone through that target twice. Guys, if you're doing that. Now, at this stage, the NASDAQ, guys, there's 2 entries on the NASDAQ. There's those that enter under the body of the actual static bar reversal candle, and there's those that enter outside the range. Those that enter outside the range, guys, you have not been picked up short. Those that enter under the body, you have been. All right, now we do have a climactic reversal on the, as short on the S&P 500. What is occurring, guys, at this stage is the S&P 500 is trying to sell back down into the Asian high. If it comes back down and starts pressuring Asia's high, then the NASDAQ is actually going to fall. I'm hoping that the NASDAQ watches the FDAX. Note for the FDAX traders, you've got matching signals on the FESX and FDAX. That's why the FDAX is going so well. Have I got anybody short on the FDAX for long range targets? Or is anybody trying to, okay, Daniel, that's fine. Is anybody trying to sell the FDAX short for long range targets? If you are, guys, targeting 23630, so 23630 would be very, very smart. Okay, so 23630 would be very, very smart. As in for a long range FDAX target, we are going to get, those are very, very likely get a 4-point turning bar short, maybe 4-point turning bar short on the FESX. We won't know for 57 seconds. If we do, everything should be dragged a little bit to the downside. If you are short on FDAX, guys, I encourage you to hold the short. If you need another short on FDAX, the red diamond delta short at 635, guys, is probably going to pay a 630 very easily. I just want to see the NASDAQ turn here. What is the NASDAQ doing? So buyers on the stair step. The NASDAQ is actually going to give us another reversal short, but because there are some people short already, guys, we're not going to go short again. Guys, we're not going to go short again at the same price because we never compound into a trade like that. At this stage, guys, if you're short on the NASDAQ, it's only gone 9 ticks towards a 10-tick target. So I'm assuming we still have people short. The FDAX and FESX have both gapped down. Guys, FESX and FDAX have both gapped down. So I would expect some selling, guys. I would expect some selling to occur for the FDAX traders that want to trade that delta short. Guys, at 635. The buyers need to show in this candle before the sellers come in and slam them, please. Yeah, so the NQ's gap short as well. Guys, now technically we've got another selling signal on the NASDAQ as well. Now, the NASDAQ traders are looking down at the S&P 500 traders, and they're saying, you guys need to sell back down through the Asian high, or at least pressure the Asian high to drag this trade down. So what we're going to do, guys, for the NASI traders who are short under the body of the candle, okay, because the volatility is so low, and these guys are so difficult to trade today. All right, what we're going to do, I'm going to put a line across the chart, which is just there. Guys, what I want the sellers to do, let me just move that across. What I want the sellers to do is push down through the line, allowing everybody to neutralize the risk on the trade. Now, obviously, those that enter outside the body of the candle, right, Daniel was saying that his limit order, guys, was picked up outside the body of the candle. Daniel, you must have like a couple of tick risk offset or something set on your account there. Now, at this stage, guys, I've got some people short, guys, underneath the body of the candle. If the buyers show here, guys, it's going to be a negative trade. So if the buyers do show, it is going to be a negative trade. The flip side of the buyers showing is it's because the S&P 500 is trying to push back down through Asia's high. At the moment, the buyers are showing they're not impressing anybody. So at this stage, with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go on the candle, we're going to stay loyal to the sellers. If the sellers can push down to this black line, which is on its way to your profit target, then we would be looking to reduce or neutralize the risk on the trade. Okay, now obviously the target is beyond that line. What I want to do is I don't want to take a negative trade. I'm giving the sellers, because they gapped the market down at the start of this candle, I'm giving the sellers every opportunity to show, but I'm only trusting them as far as this black line. If we start gathering buying momentum, then we may actually be on the wrong side of the market. Okay, so we'll just let them show. I should have been a little bit more careful, guys, about that Asian high. What we're about to get is potentially a really lovely buy signal, and I've got traders that are currently short. So we're just going to, we'll give them 1 minute and 47 seconds. As we'll give them 147, I don't want to take a losing trade, but again, we may have a losing trade. Guys, that's okay. We'll just turn around and go and get it back again. We've taken a valid trade for those that trade off the body of the SBR. For those that trade outside the range, as my market didn't get there, but Daniel's did. Okay, that's all right, man. Okay, perfect. Okay, so for the NASI traders, we're about to potentially have a negative trade. Right, that means that if the market's not ready to sell yet, okay, well, it's not a negative, but they're getting very, very close to making it a negative. I'm going to call this as a negative NASDAQ trade. Guys, again, for those that enter under the body of the static bar reversal, that one has not gone far enough to trigger your risk control. If you enter outside the range of the static bar reversal, guys, then that has obviously not picked us up. Right, and these guys are not ready to reverse yet. They're actually getting ready to go long. Okay, so if you have had a losing trade, guys, if you have a losing trade, what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the buying signal to confirm in 27 seconds, and then we're going to go and get the loss back. Okay, so all of the same things are going to pertain here. So I'm going to do a Fibonacci. I'm going to offset it slightly, do a Fibonacci up to catch them on the way down. What I'm now looking for is a big efficient NASDAQ candle and an S&P 500, S&P 500 candle to the high side. All right, guys, I need the sellers to push down, tag that 23.6. Then our entry's going long, guys, at 2390, 2390. FDAX, you've got an 88.6 Fibonacci reversal short over there on the left-hand side. So Nazi traders, if we sell down, we touch that 23.6 and then we get rocketed back the other way. There is a long entry at 2390. All right, at 2390, we're going to try and hold that trade for up to 15 minutes. Okay, we're going to try and hold the trade for up to 15 minutes. We must get a retrace. We must get a rejection. Ideally, I want to be picked up as in the first sort of 90 seconds to 2 minutes of the candle. FDAX traders, just while I look away from the NASDAQ for a moment, as FDAX traders, as if you trade reversals under the 88.6 fib, you've gone short, guys, at 670, right? You've gone short at 670 and your first target is 665. Now, NASDAQ traders. NASDAQ traders, in a perfect world, right? This is going to have no issue. So that's a 10-tick risk control point. The NASDAQ should push through to at least a 20-tick target, at least a 20-tick target. What I would consider doing if I was on the NASDAQ is, again, you can do a split target if you want of a touch 10 or a literally pay 10, and then you're going to go for a much longer range target up to this 88.6. So you'd be looking for a 10 and a 40, guys, a 10 and a 40. We need that 10-tick target, guys. We need that 10-tick target taken out relatively early in the candle if these guys are going to slowly grind to the high side. And so what we've finally got is we've finally got the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ agreeing with each other. Now, with the S&P, they've gapped up to a 60-minute chart step break point. So ideally, if the buyers decide on the American markets that the S&P is going to buy above 6551, guys, the NASDAQ should, towards the end of this 5-minute chart candle, start to push through the 20s and start to glide a little bit further. All right, now just for the FDAX traders, guys, again, if you've picked up your short already, guys, at 670, you wanted to push it down to 665. If you want to go short again, guys, ideally you need the buyers to show again. So you want the buyers to show again, push through, and then fail in order to pick up the short. If you're already short at 670 on FDAX, guys, if you're already short at 670, your target is 665. I'll tell you what, the FDAX has been a lot easier to trade today than the American markets. Now, once again, guys, the American market has got 9 ticks towards a 10-tick risk control point. If they turn, guys, if the NASDAQ turns now, we are literally going to stop trading the NASDAQ because they don't know what they're doing. Guys, what we're not going to do is we're not going to keep placing trades if these guys don't do what we're expecting them to do. Now, it's an efficient CORPC bar. It's again, we got really good retrace. We got a really, really good rejection. S&P got an almost identical trade. I'll give them the full 1 minute and 13 seconds as to show us what they're doing. Let me just watch. FDAX last 90 seconds. So please don't re-enter the short again, guys, at 670. For the DAX traders, you are looking to enter in the brand new candle. All right, brand new candle. You would need a higher high as to re-enter underneath the 88.6 short. If they do close over the 88.6 and the 90, Then our next trade will be shorting off the top here. We've just got to make sure we've got FESX agreement. NASDAQ, if we get a negative trade on the NASDAQ, guys, we're going to park the NASDAQ. Obviously, the FDAX is being very, very good to us today. The NASDAQ is basically undecided as to the direction it wants to run. And again, guys, I can't keep putting you in on trades. If the market is not even making a risk control point, then we're not going to take any more trades on NASDAQ till we get matching signals between the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. All right, so at this stage, we got off to an okay start, guys, if you're a Delta trader. And then we're now just waiting, Delta or efficiency. We're now just waiting for these guys to sort out what they're doing. We don't want to take a series of losing trades, guys, on the NASDAQ. Okay, anybody short on FDAX, guys? If you're short at 670, obviously your target is 665. You may have traded that a number of times in that candle. For the FDAX traders, the FESX is now over the top of the previous pivot. So we would need the buyers to push up. Those need the buyers to push up on the FESX, clearly start failing. We need a higher high on the FDAX, the FDAX. We need a higher high on the FDAX, and we're looking for the 88.6 short again. Okay, looking for the 88.6 short. Carlos, if you're on the FDAX, it's been an absolute pleasure to trade. If you're on the NASDAQ, we've had a losing trade, which is very, very strange. Very strange indeed. All right, so I'm just going to, guys, I'll just watch what they're doing very, very closely. FDAX, just be careful, please. Yeah, Daniel, exactly. We've had 2 losses on the NASDAQ, depending on where you enter the trades. Exactly. For FDAX, guys, I must get a higher high. Right, so I must get a higher high. Ideally, I want to push through to around about the 675 or something along those lines. Then I am looking to pick up the reversal at 670 on FDAX. Now, I don't have the higher high yet. I do have the FESX starting to agree. All I need is a little flutter, guys, a little flutter of buying on the FDAX that gets drilled. And then we're looking, that's exactly what I want them to do. So I want them to push through here. I want them to fail badly. So for the DAX traders, we're looking for the buyers to push through. If we now start buying properly, again, our next reversal for the FDAX traders will be a pre-top reversal. I would really love the FESX to agree with that reversal. At this stage, the buyers are thinking about buying. So for the FDAX, we must get well above the pre-top and then get hammered to pick up that short. So please don't sit your sell order just sitting under the pre-top there. If we do push up the pre-top, you can sell as low as 23680. You can sell as low as 23680, and then we would assess. So if they buy through, you can sell as low as 680. Your first target will be 675, and then we'll manage it from there. We don't have the conditions yet for a short on the FDAX. So some of you have picked up this short trade here when we first came through. Some of you picked it up the second time we came through. Higher high, guys, does enable you to pick up the trade a third time through. So the FDAX traders, you're looking for another short at 670 with a target of 665. All right, so the FDAX traders, if you need another trade, wow. If you're short at 670, guys and girls, your first target is 665. You've just gone through that target for the third time off those Fibonacci's. Jeez. Oh, man, I wish I could share the love on the NASDAQ. Some days, the FDAX is easier to trade. So at the moment on FDAX, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 6 winning trades in a row. Klaus, you've had two positive trades. Well done, mate. I've had 2 positive trades. I've been ATM twice, but I'm nicely profitable for the session. NASDAQ, guys, we've had a loss. Well, 2 losses, depending on where you enter on the trade, which is very, very, very unnormal. So we had a loss at the top, and we had a loss on the body of the static bar reversal. Now, guys, I'll write them in the log. That is very, very strange. Guys, very, very strange for the NASDAQ. I actually can't remember a trading session where we had 2 losses like that. Either way, guys, either way, we'll just wait for the next valid trade. If it occurs inside the session, awesome. If it doesn't, guys, the US pre-market will go absolutely nuts. Is it more comfortable? Geez, you moved from the NASDAQ to the FTX, mate. You'd be amazed at the number of people that are doing that. Mate, so much so that, guys, I just put a video on YouTube about how to go and get your FTX data feed. A lot of the NASDAQ traders have said, if I'm going to trade the European Open, I'll just go and trade the FTX. Now, a lot of people don't realize the FDXM, which is the micro FTX contract. The micro FTX contract is the same size as the NASDAQ. All right. So in this trading session, the FTX normally picks up 4 or 5 very simple, very profitable trades, 4 or 5 really good ones. Whereas the NASDAQ, guys, if it does what it did today, it's a little bit demoralizing. It's a little bit annoying. It's a little bit annoying. But guys, that's, again, if you've had a negative trade today, guys, which I know some people have, we will endeavor to go and get it back. If we need to go and get it back tomorrow, guys, are in the pre-market later on. If we need to go and get it back, we'll go and get it back. They at least to $12 USD and increase often stopped out after reaching very first target. However, great guidance. Okay, Jürgen, sorry, man, appreciate that. So FTX traders, you guys have had a complete walk in the park today. If you're a ratio-based trader and your Sentry is simply just looking for the static bar reversals, we actually had that static bar reversal twice. So you guys had that one twice. You've been able to enter that one twice, and you've been able to enter that one very obviously, guys, twice. So at this stage, FTX, it looks like you're looking at 2, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 very, very easy winning trades. Like for the NASDAQ, guys, not as much today, all right? So NASDAQ's been a little bit more difficult today. Arlen, how are you? We are talking about the NASDAQ because the NASDAQ has been difficult. It's actually bitten us twice today, which is really annoying. FTX has been absolutely amazing. Right? FTX has been incredible to trade. Fancy that as the European Open. NASDAQ, we got a loss. Depending on where you enter, I then got a second loss, which was technically perfect. Now they're finally reversing, and it should go really well. So I've got nothing to add, Arlen, other than I'm annoyed for the NASDAQ traders. I'm delighted for the FTX traders.
Well, it's part of it, isn't it? It is part of it.
Well, the S&P only had 1 trade, 1 win. The NASDAQ had 5 trades, but we've got 2 losses there. So the good trades were kind of mitigated by the losses. And then FTX is up to 6 trades, 6 wins straight through. And one of our FTX traders had finished in 8 minutes and left. So the obviously
just like that, mic drop.
Yeah, gone. So the FTX was a lot easier today than the NASDAQ, let me tell you.
Iconic. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining for another live trading session with us. Okay. Lachlan, thank you so much for doing this wonderful live trading session. From our side, we're going to see you guys again next week on Thursday. And whoever's trading with Samurai Day Trading, you guys can join Lachlan tomorrow for another session. That is pretty much it from my side.
Perfect. So thank you for TTP, guys. Thank you for allowing us to do this. In summary, FTX traders, you had a ball. S&P, you did well. And NASDAQ, guys, we got unlucky. But we've had a very good NASDAQ week. So we'll try and pick it back up tomorrow and go and get the negative back. And we should be fine. We should survive, Alan. It'll be good fun. So. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you to everybody. Well done.